Hello everyone. Hi. We're here with Pascal and Karla, and we're talking about Project Gemini today. So I'll be your host for today. My name is Elisa and I'm a designer here at Adobe working on Project Gemini, and we have a full day planned, so let's take a look at the schedule. Today we're doing drawing and painting on Gemini. And then we have UX design at 11:30, and we'll be live at the same time for the next 2 days. So today, tomorrow, and Thursday. So we'll also have a daily challenge today. So we can take a look at the challenge if you go to your challenge tab in the chat. And hi everyone on the chat. Hello from India, Mexico, everyone. Ooh. Hello. Hi Jimmy. Hi Axel. Hey everyone.
I see Howard, I see Danielle, Anna.
Hi Pokey.
Pokemon?
Nice.
Pokemon, yeah.
Now I'm hungry.
So if we look at the challenge tab, we have...
Oh, Seville, nice. Sorry.
Oh, Spain, yes.
Yeah.
We have a color palette for you guys to use. So the challenge today is to create a creature or character with these colors, and then you can submit your challenge today and we'll look at it before about an hour and a half into the segment. Hello from Italy.
Oh, hi,
Hello from Virginia. All right, so Pascal.
We could spend the whole 2 hours just like...
I'm like, hi everybody. I'm like, oh, there's Spirit. Oh, Spirit.
So do you guys want to introduce yourselves? Pascal, can you tell us a little bit about your work and what you do?
Hi, I'm Pascal. I'm an artist and I live in LA.
Yes, let's take a look at Pascal's work on Instagram. From Cambodia, wow. So Pascal, you do a lot of, I feel like, storytelling, right, with your
All I do is storytelling,
work?
yeah. Even if it's just single images. These are my 2 kids.
Oh yeah, you have your 2 kids here. Oh.
Yeah, you can probably like go to some just regular images.
Yeah.
I do like a bunch of those like, so you want to be an artist, which is mainly me talking to myself.
That's awesome. I feel like we get a little bit of insight into your life and who you are as an artist and what your thoughts are and everything. This sounds really nice.
I know, I hang out with my wife all the time in the rain like that.
So romantic. Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful work, Pascal.
Yeah, and the lighting here and everything.
So Karla, what do you do?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's look at you. Let's look at you.
Yes, Karla.
Okay, wow, you guys are from all over the place, huh?
Karla's work.
Hi.
Oh, yeah, from San Francisco. We're in San Francisco, Montreal.
Yay!
So Karla, tell us about your work and what you do.
Hi.
Hi,
Karla. No, it's cool. So I'm a concept artist, a fine artist, and an illustrator. I've worked for companies such as like Marvel, Universal Studios, HBO, and specifically with Marvel films such as like Black Panther, Avengers, Infinity War, Thor, Ragnarok, but specifically Doctor Strange, who I designed. So that was fun.
Ooh. Really? You designed Doctor Strange?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's super fun.
Awesome.
If you scroll through, you'll find him eventually.
Wow, and you do some traditional work as well.
I love doing traditional paintings as well, and yeah, I love both digital and traditional because it's just fun.
Wait, so what did you design Doctor Strange? Like the costume and everything?
Yeah,
That's so
man.
Cool.
Yeah. If you scroll way down,
I love that one.
way down, then that's
did
all
you do
Black
the,
Panther stuff.
Or whatever he's doing?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here's
These are really cool.
So this is one. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. And what
and
did
I got
you
to
use?
stare at Benedict Cumberbatch's face for like a whole year.
That's awesome. Post for me.
And then they ended up inviting us to the premiere, and I felt like such a creeper.
Wow.
Because I'm like, I know this person so intimately.
With
and
his
he-
face and everything.
It wasn't him just like posing for you?
No, he was there doing like the, talking to press and all that, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, I've painted you for a
Yeah,
year.
I know every part of it.
Yeah.
So was I. That's funny.
What, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Kind of
no.
like,
LA peeps.
Pascal!
Any LA peeps out there?
But
All
yeah.
right, so today we're going to be looking at Project Gemini, and we're going to draw some, I think we don't have anything specifically planned, but we're going to ask you, chat, what you guys want to see today. I think we're going to go with some like portraits or some characters or people.
I might do some portraits.
Yeah, some portraits.
I'm feeling something specific.
What are you guys feeling
But
like seeing?
you asking us or them?
Both the chat
I don't know. I'm like, first of all, I'm fairly shy. I mean, you're probably going to see this. So I'll probably not be drawing anything great, but I'll just tell you how I do stuff.
Yeah, no, I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
I have a couple things that I've prepared that I might paint,
All
but
right.
if I get bored, I'll just scrap it and join you guys. Yeah, bored. Just like, this sucks. Let's do something else.
Fans right there. Anthony Sanchez. Which one of yours?
Everyone, okay.
Oh, yeah, she is. Spiridon.
Spiridon's
Just met her, but she's really nice.
All right, so if people want to see some portraits, lights
just
and
to
shadows.
let you guys know, like there's the screen where we see each other, but it's flipped. So
Yeah.
Karla's on right. I'm
Yes.
seeing her. Well, I mean it's hard to explain because it's flipped, but there are
Yeah.
So I
And
think,
then there's the screen with all the stuff there. So.
yeah, I think we should start drawing some portraits maybe. If people want to see some light and shadows, or you can just draw what you normally do with your process, and we could take a look at like how you guys started drawing.
Yeah.
That would be really interesting.
Yeah,
to
let's
see.
do it.
How do you come up with like what the subject of your artwork or piece would be?
Oh, me? Oh, man. Sorry, I get cold really easy. I think it's one of those things where it's just like I just do things that, well, depends on the project and what's the purpose of it, you know? If it's for a client or for like a film, you've got to take in consideration, you know, the need of the script, you know, what folks want to like, the need of the script, and pretty much like what the character and the purpose of the character is. And from there on, usually, like for film, if they have someone that they've cast already, but most of the time, it's all in service to the story. So you'll design characters.
It's in the setting of what's happening.
Yeah.
There's a context, right, that you have to think about.
Exactly. But for personal work, it's more of like, what's inspiring to me? And sometimes it has reasons, sometimes it doesn't. So yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, the reasons part.
Yeah.
There's always a reason behind it, but you don't always know what it is. Like.
Yeah, but I think it's great to just draw whatever comes into your head.
It's
right?
super fun. Yeah, there's a certain kind of freedom to that.
There's also a lot of stress to it, too. It's like, sometimes you're like, oh, I'm going to draw whatever I want to draw, but then you auto-edit yourself a lot. You know?
Yeah,
It's a lot of
no,
practice,
I
like-
don't like that. No, it's not working.
Correct.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, people are going to hate this. Oh, I suck. It's like this. It's like,
It's getting past that into like the drawing mode.
I still do that.
See, I think it's
Oh,
just.
you're drawing. Wow.
Oh, I just want to. I'm like, just want to
No,
start
please go ahead.
painting.
Yeah, I think get started and start playing
But it's one
around.
of those things where it's just like, I don't know, man. There is some pressure to some stuff too, but like I guess it depends too. It seems. Do you take your work from sketch to a final often, and you work a lot from just?
No, my work is all sketchy. Usually
All sketchy? Yeah.
I very rarely do sketches.
Do you think that's why like there's such like, oh crap, you know, as you're working, like there's a lot of pressure on certain moments? Just because it's like whatever you make could potentially be something wonderful, right?
That's the thing is like I never consider myself a good drawer. I'm good at telling stories, and that's the thing I really like to do.
Yeah.
The actual drawing part. When I was in school, there were so many kids that were so much better than me that I never like got to the point where like, oh my gosh, I can do a drawing, and just for the sake of the drawing, it's beautiful. Like what you're doing already right now, I'm just like, oh, I can already see that's going on. I'm just like extremely.
Everyone has their own process.
Correct.
Yeah.
So right now we're seeing Karla's screen, and for people who just joined, we're looking at Project Gemini, which is a new drawing and painting app on the iPad coming out this year. It's really fun because you have all of these different types of brushes. You have your pixel brushes, which is Karla's using. Which one are you using?
I'm using my own brushes.
Oh, cool.
Whee!
Yeah, perfect. So you
Here,
can
let me
import
show
your
you
own
guys.
brushes.
Yeah, I can import my own brushes, which is pretty dope because you can get some like really nice textural stuff. But also the regular brushes that come with the program are really great too.
Yeah, we have some awesome default brushes that we worked with Kyle Webster on creating and including.
Like, look at how good this pencil brush is. Look at how good that is.
It's awesome for sketching. Yeah, you can just take it out wherever you're going. No mess.
Like
all your brushes here for you.
Oh, it's so good. I love this brush. It's the best. Just a bearded man. I think I'm gonna be doing lots of bearded boys today. Look at
I'm
that.
gonna feel like
Look at that little boy.
Yeah, maybe we have some inspiration here, Pascal.
It's funny because I never consider myself as being bearded. I just forget to shave a lot. That's all.
Look at this little bearded boy. Maybe he's a wizard.
How do you do this thing? Oh, wait, you guys are watching YouTube.
Yes.
Oh, cute!
This is
Sorry, it's
really
like-
nice. So now we're looking at
just
Pascal's
just so
screen.
you guys know, it takes me like a long time to get warmed up.
Oh my God, is that what we're doing right now? Is that
Sorry, I have to do all those like sketches to get warmed up.
No,
mainly
that's
because
perfect.
like I know I'm being watched. Now that I'm being watched is gonna be like
So cute!
I love the tongue sticking out of Carla's mouth.
It's true.
She's like,
She's very
focused.
focused. So.
It's true. No, it's true.
yeah, so we have all of our pixel brushes.
And here
Pascal's
I'm
using one in the ink category.
This one, I really like that one. A lot.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
you said
the
it's
ink
because
is great.
it makes it look like it's kind of like sketchy and a little bit like messy and like more traditional media, right?
Yeah.
We also have our vector brushes in here that you can take into Illustrator and you can edit all of those vector paths and everything, which is really cool. And then we also have our live oil and watercolor brushes as well. So those replicate natural media.
Every time I
We
look
have
at
everyone in
when
the
you're working
studio
on
here.
it, so cute.
Yeah,
Sorry, and just like to introduce, this
I'm dying.
is. Don't worry, I'll do like something a little bit better as we go along. Just have to like, you know, get.
Get it
up.
up. Get it
Yeah.
warm. It's all right. Don't worry about it.
I did work on it. Let's see. Also, I'm not really good at character. I mean, that's not true. I'm good at characters, but not good at portraits. And I get easily.
there's so
sent
much.
off
I
track.
feel like there's so much emotion in your sketches. You know, it tells such a strong story just by looking at like the body language and how everyone's like interacting.
Oh, thank you.
Come
Yeah.
on. There you go.
Look, there's a pencil brush in there at some point.
See, mine's gonna be.
So do you like doing your quick,
No.
shorter sketches and then
No.
like doing
Boop.
a lot at once, or do you like to spend a long period of time on one and then moving on to the next one?
It depends what I have to do. It also depends the mood I'm in. Most of my sketches are no longer than an hour and a half. When I have time, I'll do like, I think the longest one I've ever done, that was like all at once, was almost 3 hours, and I was like, oh my god. That's
Wow,
like,
yeah.
That's for me, that was like, that's
A long
to
time.
spend on
3
one.
hours?
Yeah.
And then Karla, do you spend a longer time on?
Is that how long you spend on your pieces?
That's the longest. Mostly it's an hour and a
I
half.
just
or
want
so.
to cry because I spend days and days.
See, I
and
can't
days.
do that.
Wow.
I can't see that effect that I was saying. I like telling stories.
Wow.
The actual art.
I
part of it,
understand.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm really not that good at that.
Yeah, no. That's how it goes sometimes. I know other artists that have that too, where they're just like wonderful draftsmen and wonderful like quick painters, and they're just like, I just want to get the story out. And once you get the story out,
Exactly,
you're
yeah.
just like,
You're
yay!
like, that's perfect. Yeah.
See,
that's it.
I like to have the story, but then I'm also just like, I just like to zone out and just like push pixels and you know, pigments around and just be like, yay. And I'm also like super childish because I get easily impressed if something feels real. And I'm just
You're
like,
like, wow.
yay, it looks real, wee.
Yeah, you're really into like the realism, Karla, right? And
Yeah, it's not necessarily like I really love stylized works and things that are graphic, but every time I try to do it myself, it just can't help it. It's
Yeah.
that moment of like,
You
oh,
need
it
to get
feels
exact,
yeah,
right?
it feels real, and I
Yeah.
just get like a 5-year-old excitement. I'm just a
Everybody else looks at your work and gets a real discouraged.
no, there's no discouragement here. No. None of that. I just want to paint silly things.
If I didn't mention, today's chat and win is 100 free 3x3 die cut stickers from Sticker Mule. So everyone get in the chat, and later we'll have a chat and win, and you'll know when that happens. And you can win a bunch of free stickers. And if you don't win those stickers, we'll have a deal for you of 10 stickers for $1 as well.
Ooh, stickers!
Yeah, stickers are always really fun.
Stickers are fun. I love this, by the way. You guys have really gotten this super nice.
Oh,
Just-
the sliders.
Yeah.
What?
That you can just like change the size of things by just like using your thumb.
Oh yeah, when
I
you
didn't know
just
that.
drag on that.
It makes it faster.
Sorry, as you guys
On
see,
the
I'm
slider.
recording this as I'm going along as well.
Yeah, it's perfect, so everyone can learn together. So yeah, you can drag on the sliders to change the brush sizes really easily,
Oh,
so that
sweet.
you don't have to like tap and open.
That is awesome, actually.
Oh, perfect, we have a split screen going on.
split screen. That's my side.
So Karla, you
That's
start with
Pascal's.
kind of like the background and like use the negative space to create your work sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes. Just with values and just kind of laying stuff in. It's not necessarily, my process changes all the time. It just really depends on what I'm working on and what's happening and what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, it just depends on what I'm in the mood for that day.
Yeah.
And how you approach it.
Yeah, sometimes I'll do like a really nice drawing. Other times I'll just play with shapes, but I'm feeling very shapey this morning. And I always have, I guess I always have an easier time with shape than I do with lines sometimes. But it's just one of those things where it's like, there's no real specific anything to, you know, how I approach my work. It's just
depending on what it is, usually.
It just really depends on my mood.
Yeah.
And what's
and how you
want to
approach it.
Yeah. But yeah, like the way that I'm starting today is very, I really just want to do like something very shapey and, you know, kind of work it out. Let me push this a little bit. There you go. Get a little bit of the hand up in here.
Cool.
The problem with doing this though is that you get so into it that it's easy to be antisocial.
You're just
and
like playing.
Actually, I'm just listening. I'm not talking. I'm just like
Now as
to,
we
like-
get into the deep drawing.
And I'm just like, ooh, oh, and then you look up and you're like, ooh, it's chat. Hi, friends.
yeah, and then even I don't dare look up, see what the questions are. Like, what does Pascal do?
Yes.
And it's like, I don't know yet. I really have no idea. Just like,
you let yourself just go.
Yeah.
You do.
I have to do this. It's gonna happen probably in a couple of hours when it's like the end. You know, it's like,
No,
oh,
I mean like.
I'm kidding.
So Shreya is asking if you guys keep any music playing in the background while you work, and if that
Yeah.
helps increase your productivity.
It depends the type of music. It depends the mood I'm in. Shreya, that's a cool question. It's like sometimes like it's funny because I don't know why I'm thinking this, but like I like Bollywood music, so sometimes
That's
I really do.
It's so fun.
I love the movies too, so I'll play like I have like a few songs that I'll play constantly, and some of them just like really get me going.
It's
and
you in
just
a good mood, I feel
yeah.
like.
I'll listen to podcasts as well. I'll listen to.
That's yeah, that's nice.
It depends. If I'm doing a story though, if I'm actually writing a story, I can't listen to anything. I have to be quiet because.
Do you set it up where when you're doing like your different like panels in like a grid of like your story, or how do you set up like the way you're gonna cut out a story scene for each of the stories that you do? Because I feel like you do a lot of like five slide scenes, right?
9. I tried.
9.
I tried to make them for Instagram actually. So
Oh yeah.
very often I'll have like 19, 20, and then I just like cut them down to like make it fit. I also try to like do as little as possible because I'm trying to get the most information possible across with the least amount of information.
I see. Yeah.
So as much in my drawing as I do in my stories. So I do work a lot on that. But composition of pages and stuff, since like people watch them like differently, it doesn't really matter too much to me.
Yeah. So there's a cool shortcut that I'll tell you about for the eyedropper tool. If you long press on your canvas with your finger,
Yeah, Karla's mentioned that, right?
you can just pick up your color and sample your color pretty easily. Yeah, long press. There we go.
Ah, cool. Nice. Good to know.
Yeah. So for those of you who just joined, this is Project Gemini. It's a drawing and painting app on the iPad that's coming out this year, and we have Pascal and Karla, two amazing artists, showing us their process today, and we're just playing around and having fun and drawing, whatever comes to mind and whatever you guys want to see.
And if you have any questions about anything else, please ask. 'Cause,
if you have questions about process, music, art, about these awesome people, so let us know.
Stuff is super funny because like for me it's stages. Like I can only listen to music if I'm rendering, but if I'm drawing or laying out like the initial bits of the painting, it's either silence or like classical or something without
You need
words.
something so that you can concentrate a little bit more at that stage.
Yeah, it's crazy because like I can't really do it otherwise. And it's one of those things where it's just like, yeah, it's wild. But once I'm rendering, I can like very easily
Listen to whatever.
whatever, and then I'll sometimes like, it depends if it's like something that I'm having a lot of fun with, I'll listen to music. If it's something that, you know, I've painted a million times, I'll
Then
listen
it's-
to like a good podcast or even watch like a series that doesn't require a lot of attention.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
in the
you
Thrones
just-
book I do that.
Yeah. And you're just like, yeah, I'm having a good time here.
You're just enjoying yourself,
Yeah,
drawing and
Exactly.
listening to whatever you want.
super fun.
I like
Yeah.
that, but I can only do it for so long. Like,
Same.
yeah, it's I need to like be thinking about something all the time. Plus, I tend to like overthink stuff a lot.
Ooh.
So I need to like make sure my brain is focused on something, so I don't.
But you also work at an incredible speed, so like I totally see the need for that, you know?
Actually, yeah, that's true. I used to work in animation. I used to work in commercials.
Oh,
where-
You
yeah,
have to
yeah.
fast,
Well,
right?
plus my job, I was the main stuff I had to do is like the clients would come to us and say, "Hey, we want to do this commercial," and say like Ritz or Reese's Pieces or whatever. And by the next day or the day after, they need to have a 30-second animation of what it was going to look like.
Yeah,
and
so
that
you
was my
have to
job, was to
work
do that
fast.
animation and time it.
Yeah.
So
wow.
I love doing that. That was great. That's how I get all that speed.
Do you guys carry a sketchbook around?
No,
I do sometimes.
I can't remember the last time I sketched.
I do, but my sketchbooks aren't like full of like complete beautiful artworks like some folks are. My sketchbooks are very personal.
Yeah.
They're just like, they'll have like a little doodle or something kind of ridiculous, and right next to it there's like 20 grocery lists.
Yeah.
That's funny.
or something of that nature. Because yeah, I don't, no, man, I'm not gonna.
I mean, yeah, you have your time for drawing, I feel like. right?
Yeah, and exactly, like it's one of those things is like you paint all day and you know you draw all day for a living, and it's one of those things where it's like at some point you sometimes do need a little bit of a break. I think that's
Yeah.
healthy.
I used to feel guilty about that though.
Really?
Yeah, at the
Me
beginning
too.
I was like, at the beginning,
Yeah,
20 years ago.
I used to feel really guilty about it too, and then I was like, that's dumb.
Yeah.
So a few people are asking about Gemini. So Gemini is not available on the App Store yet, but we'll be releasing it this year. And it's different from Photoshop on the iPad, yeah. So this is a different app. This is specifically for drawing and painting, as you can see with all the brushes, with the selection tools, with the eyedropper. It's more focused on drawing and painting as well.
Yeah, it's cool.
So the iPad stands that Karla and Pascal are using, someone's asking about that. Which ones are these?
That's my first time using one of those.
Yeah.
So I'm used to like
We have these in the
being
studio.
flat.
Hard same. Yeah, I don't know what this is, but it's great.
But does it help you guys draw?
Actually,
Yeah.
I'm
Do
gonna
you
try with that
prefer?
because I'm used to
It looks like it's from Elevation Lab.
Yeah, that's probably easier for me right now.
So maybe in different stages it's better to use a stand
Well,
versus
I
not?
never use a stand.
Okay.
Ooh.
So
And also the beta, if you want to get on to the beta, you can click on the link in the chat and you can be in the pre-release program if you fill out a survey. And then you can start playing on Gemini.
Do it.
Yes.
Do it.
So
Here,
how
let's-
many
let's press on
hours
Karla.
do you guys draw in a day, would you say?
Oh.
it varies tremendously for me. It varies on like the schedule of my kids and like yeah, pretty much that, and the schedule of my kids. Yeah, what they have to do. If they're gone, I'll probably be like drawing a lot. You know, like at least like 6 or 7 hours. If they're around, I'll probably be drawing like 2 or 3 hours, if that.
I think it varies for me too. Sometimes I can get the things that I need done in like, you know, 4 or 6 hours or so. But then other days it's just like, you know, I'm going to be working on multiple projects, so it becomes like, you know, 8 or 10
Yeah.
or something of that nature. But with like lots of breaks.
I see.
Just because it's so easy to get injured in this industry if you're just like
Sitting
painting. Injured, yeah.
with your hands.
Yeah, I got injured.
How do you get
I see.
injured?
Oh, I was working way too much. I was doing freelance and then working in, I think I was at ILM at the time. And I just injured my hands because I was just painting nonstop.
Wow.
And as I was painting, and then sometime when my neck went, and I was like, oh. And both of my arms starting hurting like crazy. I was out for like a couple months.
Really?
Even your left hand as well?
Therapy.
Your
Wow.
left hand as well?
Oh yeah, both hands.
Wow.
Because it came from the shoulders.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
but it's because
you're,
if you're painting nonstop, especially if you're like doing one singular motion, it's something called repetitive motion. So like your arm gets locked up and
repetitive stress injury, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's much better. But it's one of those things where it's just like it can really, really mess you up. And I've known of too many people in the industry that just had to stop working just because of injuries, at least like and it's just one of those things where it's just like it's why like it's just like yes, work really hard and work with intent, but take breaks too.
Yeah,
like
it's important to be mindful of your body as well, right?
Yeah, your tools, your body.
This is your tool.
Yeah, exactly. So you really wanna take care of it.
So some people are asking about the layers that you guys are using. So Karla, I see that you have 2 layers that you're using. So the background is the first one, right? And now you're adding some more like shading and coloring on the second one.
Yes, ma'am.
And then Pascal, you have a bunch of different layers going on here. What?
Why?
No, I'm just wondering the differences between
I have zero.
how you guys work and.
Right now, I'm still
What is
trying to
the
like calm my
method?
nerves because I know like a lot of people are watching.
Don't worry, these are all huge fans.
It's
Everyone's
even
like,
worse.
"Oh my
No, it's really funny like this. Like when I'm at home and I'm drawing and no one's there, I'm like super fast and I'm like whatever. I'll just not think about things and just visualize in my head something I want to do and I'll just do it. When I know somebody's watching, it's like I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm just like I'm overthinking it too much. But the thing about the layers is like I always use a lot of layers, and I have no idea why. Probably because I never learned any other way. Sorry.
No, everyone has their own way. I've seen people use like thousands of layers before.
Yeah,
Hundreds of layers
I'll go when I was working in Warner Brothers. I did have a file that had, I don't know if it had 1,000, but it had like at least 900 layers.
Yeah.
The file was like 4 or 5
I've
gigabytes.
seen that.
It stresses me out so much.
It's a cool painting though.
Oh well, that's good.
Yeah.
There's a background.
I can't. If I do. Sometimes it gets crazy. For me in particular, right now, I'm only using. I did kind of like a value run over here. You know, on the bottom. And
Really?
then
I should not have
and
looked
then
up.
no. And then I'm doing just kind of like a color. Kind of a quick color wash by just kind of setting stuff up to multiply, and then I'll probably paint on top of this. But I usually try to, for my own layer work and regular Photoshop and to work, I always try to keep like elements separated in the beginning, like foreground, background, and middle, just so that I'm able to switch it as quickly as I can. But that itself will change. But at some point in the painting, I'll be like, nah, this is too many layers. And I'm just like flatten it.
Yeah, and then you do some organization and cleanup, right?
And, oh man, no, it stresses me out because it's just like, digital made sense to me once I was able to make it feel like traditional works. And once I was able to make it feel like it was traditional, like I was just like, oh, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah.
So every time I have an opportunity, like to just have the digital media that I'm working on feel tangible, I will. Really, all I'm doing here is just kind of like.
Oh, it's our chat and win. Sorry to interrupt, Karla. Now everyone, get in the chat, and what should we ask? What should we ask them about? To have them tell us some information.
Ooh.
What is your process, I think, on coming up with what to draw? That's what I've been really interested in with you guys, is like seeing you guys work. It's like you're just coming up with things in your own way. So I want to ask the chat what your process is, and then you can win 100 free stickers, 3 free 3x3 die cut stickers from Sticker Mule.
Ooh.
And we're back. Let's see who won. Chat and win.
Who won?
So we're here looking at Project Gemini with Karla and Pascal, and we're drawing some really cool stuff. So people like to draw TV shows. They get their inspiration from movies, animals,
like people there.
sky,
That is crazy.
thumbnails. Lots of different places for inspiration. Music, conversations.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
those are all interesting. Random thumbnails, music. Peter Chan, congratulations. You just won a bunch of stickers.
Yeah, Peter.
Peter Chan? The painter? No, not the same painter, right?
I don't know.
There's a painter called Peter Chan.
Get it.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, you get a bunch of stickers.
Wow, so cute.
And now we're back to drawing. Pascal, can we see the last sketch that you did?
Sure.
Did you finish that one?
No. I was going to, eventually.
Oh, that one's nice. Nice scene. Oh,
I wasn't finished
someone's
on it,
looking
so.
over the edge.
Yeah,
Cool.
I can finish it, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, no, you don't have to. I just wanted
It's
to
okay.
have people see what you guys are drawing. Karla, who is this man that you're drawing?
He's my boyfriend.
Wow, pretty dapper looking boyfriend.
Good looking boyfriend.
We met in, it's funny because like, when we met, he was just gonna like do some modeling for me, but we hit it off, and it was just super funny because I'm like, oh no, I'm dating my model. I'm
Oh my
an
gosh.
artist cliche.
That's funny.
But like
It's okay.
inverted.
Yeah, you're like,
No, but he's
oh,
a sweetie, and
oh, that's nice.
we had a fantastic photo shoot a long time ago, and I've done many oil paintings from that, and it's always fun to capture. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice.
It's just super.
And now you remember exactly his face, so it's easy for you to draw him, right?
It's always he's
God
like
dang.
got the easiest beards are easy make faces
Because
easier
you don't
to
have to
paint.
do as much work here.
Yeah, and if you get the shape of the beard right, you immediately get their likeness.
face,
It's
yeah.
fantastic.
Paul is,
Is that how it works?
that's a
Just
big
beard?
shortcut, Karla.
Good, I'm just saying. Artist tips, beards.
Paul's
Beards, you guys.
asking, Pascal, how did you decide you wanted to get into art? I caught the intro to an interview you did for a magazine recently.
How did I decide to get into art? My brother used to read comic books when I was a kid, and in order for me to get the comic books that he had, he would ask me to draw all the characters that were on the page. It was all those like Marvel comic stuff. So I
yeah.
started drawing that.
Interesting.
And then when I was good enough at copying them, he asked me to make little stories with characters,
Wow.
and that's what got me into it.
Yeah.
It was fun. That's how I decided. Then later on, I was just drawing, and then I think around 11 years old, I decided, you know what, I'll be an artist. And I remember going to my 6th grade art teacher and telling him, hey, I want to be an artist. And he looked at me and
That's really
says,
nice.
Pascal, I don't think you have it. I don't think you should be an artist.
Oh, come on, look where you are now.
Yeah, I'm doing like little green splashes on the screen. That's like, but no, seriously though, like I remember like that really crushed me that my art teacher didn't think I had it, so I just wanted to prove him wrong. And,
Good.
And that's what I
And
did.
you did.
Good.
Sort of.
Yeah, take that, art teacher.
No, I tried to find him on Facebook and I can't.
Just to laugh
Just
at
send him your Instagram. Send him some of your stories.
Just be like, screw you.
Well, I mean, I want to say thank you though, because I don't think without that particular push, I would have had the
drive
grit,
to
to like prove him wrong.
That's super funny.
So.
My dad helped me in that a lot too. When I was a kid, like I would do, like my dad's a musician too.
Oh wow.
So when I was a kid, I would like do like, you know, sketches, and everybody around would be just like, oh, Karla, you're so good. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm real good. And then I'd show it to my dad, and my dad would be like, that's nice, but the hand, it's not a well-drawn hand.
Yeah, it makes
and
you want to
and I'm like, what?
improve, right?
Yeah, I'm just like, I'll show you.
Yeah, you're like, excuse me, fine, let me go make this hand better.
Fine. But it's true, without that, I would have just been...
I remember when I was about like 13 or 14 and I was running a bunch of like superheroes and just those big action poses and big strong dudes, and my stepdad looked at my work and says, it's cool, but like, look at this guy right there. See how he's doing this big scene? And I was like, who's this guy again? He's like, his name is Renoir. I was like, well, I've never heard of this guy.
Yeah, you're like,
and he was showing me this painting called Le Moulin de la Galette, just this ball scene, and I was like, I can't draw, that guy can't draw characters.
Yeah, you're like,
And now I'm like, wow. But that was the cool thing about us is like, our family is like, we had tons of art hanging around all the time. Plus I grew up in France, so.
Oh yeah.
No, the school I went to was called, was named after Pablo Picasso.
wow, so art's just in the culture is such deeply
It definitely is, but in the entrance to the school there was this huge painting reproduction of Guernica.
Oh yeah.
And I remember as a kid, I loved that. I never quite understood what it was until I got a little bit older, and then I learned the whole history of it. But yeah, we had like, we were exposed to art very early. You know what? I'm gonna think of what I'm gonna do now. Hang with me, guys. After a while, like I know what I'm doing, but it takes me a long time when I'm like in this stage.
Kyle, you do you.
Worry.
You do you. Don't even worry about it, man. You do you. We all know you're fabulous.
Don't worry about them.
They are.
They all know you're fabulous.
Very impressed.
Are you guys impressed? Really?
They're like, wow, Pascal. Hello, Elisa, Karla, and Pascal. Your work inspires me a lot, Pascal, especially when you draw a father and child. That's really nice.
Oh, well, I can do that next. Yeah. Okay, great.
I notice your work has a lot of your family in it, which is really, really nice and sweet.
Thank you.
Yeah, so.
It's funny because I never intended to do that. When I started, no, I mean, what I mean is like when I started drawing, and I don't know if that's a lot of artists like this.
Inspiration?
Well, when I started drawing, I just did it mainly because I liked stuff that, you know, kids like, superheroes, and I like French graphic novels a lot, so, you know, Gaston Asterix and all that sort of stuff. So I would draw really light-hearted things that had no consequences. And then when I had my daughter, when Lily was born, I did one drawing of me kissing her, and then all of a sudden, like, my whole perspective changed, but I wasn't trying to. And then
it just came.
It just
about,
came.
Yeah.
And I would still do like little superheroes here and there, but they were completely different than what I would do before. There was a softness to them that I didn't know I had.
Yeah,
and then
when you're drawing family members or people that you know so well, right? Maybe it's easier to draw their personalities or have that come out because you know them so closely, maybe.
Well, there's that, and also the fact that I didn't like, or you start, like, I remember watching this movie like Black Hawk Down, I think that's what it's called, before I had the kids.
Yeah.
And then watching it after I had the kids and having a completely different like take on it. I'm like, oh my God, this is so violent. Well, before I was like, oh my God, this is awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
so,
it makes sense.
And I actually like this. I like the fact that like my work has changed so much.
That's awesome.
Because of that. So, you know. The reason I'm saying this, I think, is because like I always think that artists should have as many experiences as possible because it really helps feed your particular creative bone. And you should not be an island and all sort of, you know, good stuff.
Yeah.
That's
so what do you guys think of Gemini? Something that's really cool about Pascal and Karla is we came to them about 8 months ago and we said, hey, we have this new drawing and painting app. Do you guys want to try it and let us know what you think? So Pascal and Karla were in the process of helping us design this in a way where we showed you things, we got feedback from you, we interviewed you about it, we had you use it. So can you talk a little bit about like what you think and how it's changed and what your perspective is on it now?
I think it's actually really cool. The how can I explain? The ability to draw on it is really nice. It's very smooth. You can go around really quickly. It's cool. It's really, it's a, how can I explain? The reason I'm hesitating is because I know like you guys, what you're seeing of me right now is maybe not the best, but like when you're really into it, there's an ease of getting into the software, of drawing, that makes it very fun to be with. You just don't want to get out of it because you just keep like, you access the brushes easily, they flow very nicely, you can move around very quickly. So it's a really cool drawing app.
It's super
That's
funny because
awesome.
like when you guys hit me up in the beginning, like the keyword or the thing that kind of caught me was they were just like, Karla, what's your dream app? I'm like, I mean, some stuff is close, but it's not close. And you guys were like, we'll make it close.
Yeah,
and I'm
we're like, tell us what you want, and we will try as hard to get that.
and I was
get
like,
that for
yes,
you.
okay.
Yeah, I think,
and I did.
yes, and you were like,
Yeah,
we would
pretty much like-
show you guys, and Carla's like, I don't like that. No, this doesn't work. No, this doesn't work. No, this is it. And then she's like, oh, I love this. I love this. So
I was nice about it.
yes, you were very nice about it. So it really helped us get on the right track, I think, and develop it in the right direction, as like having you guys steer us in the right way with having you use it.
I think also like because I use digital so much for my work, I wanted it to feel like something that I could genuinely take with me. And it's just super fun where it's been and seeing it evolved. And yeah, no, it's really wonderful. I'm gonna save here real quick because that's just the general digital rule that I remembered. And
It's
for
like,
saving the little house, right?
Yep, you can go home and that will save your document.
Cute, cute, cute.
So in 49 minutes,
Cute.
we will have a design challenge look at all the things that you guys have submitted. So the challenge is going on from today and tomorrow, and we'll pick a winner on Thursday. So if you go to the challenge tab in the chat, you'll see that we have a color palette for you guys to use, and the challenge is to create a character or a creature. And then we'll take a look at that in 47 minutes, and we'll give you guys some feedback.
I'm having fun though. It's hard to
Yes.
stop. I think.
This is nice.
I think I need a new.
What happened? Oh my
If
goodness.
you put it on the top of your iPad, it'll charge it
that's
a
so
little bit. So maybe we can
cool.
wait a few minutes.
It just
and have it
charges just being
charge.
on top
Yeah,
of the
so
iPad?
the new iPads, you'll just put your pen up at the top and then it'll charge for you, which is
It's
nice.
so cool.
Where this one, you have to plug it in.
Yeah, it's really adorable. I'm so jealous because I got the old version.
Oh yeah, you can
Yeah, I have
upgrade
the
to
old
the
version
new
too.
one. The new one's really nice and light as well.
Yeah, it's super cute. I'm just like,
Have you guys played with any of the live brushes yet?
No.
The oil
No.
and the watercolor brushes?
No.
So those ones are really cool because you can adjust how much texture you have in the oil brushes. You can adjust like the globbiness of the paint. Karla, I feel like you might find that fun just because you work with like your traditional painting a lot, and like
I do.
we also have watercolor brushes where you can adjust how much the colors bleed together, how much water level there is as well. So you can do like different washes, and it'll affect, you can come back later and it'll affect the pixels you have on the canvas if you come back and wash with like more watercolor brushes because they're live. So you can always come back and mix different colors together, which are really fun.
So cool. That's so awesome. I'm glad that I stopped here for now.
Yeah,
Also,
I like that. It's
Yeah.
cool.
just want to let you know that.
I think we're just gonna have to wait and like maybe,
Yeah.
is it plugged in? I
It's,
have to plug it in.
yeah, I think it just,
Died.
yeah.
Okay. Well,
What, your app died?
the Apple Pencil.
I know it's not,
Ow.
I don't think it's the pencil.
How much percentage does it have?
No, it's the, so when you use. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe let's see if it.
Forever digital. And then how to do?
And then maybe go back and create a new one, or go back to that one.
Yep.
Nope, not working.
You can sing, huh?
I can say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Sing a song
No,
for
I'm
us.
saying like you're doing that thing. I'm like, oh, you can actually carry tunes.
Oh, me? Oh,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Oh, God, no.
Sound like it.
I think we'll get a new Apple Pencil for you.
Okay,
Do
perfect.
we have another one? Well, maybe we can use my iPad if that one's not working.
We can. And I could use some of those brushes that you were
Yes.
talking about.
Okay, so in the meantime, maybe.
Look at this sweet scene that Pascal has already done.
You've done
I
like
know,
a,
that's so nice.
Oh. They said to just close Gemini and reopen it.
that sounds like, you know, the IT thing. Like just turn off your computer, turn it back on.
Oh, is it the iPad or is it the pencil? Yeah, I might need to just close the program.
Yeah, I do that.
There you go.
Yeah, and then maybe Karla, you can play with the watercolor and oil brushes once we get that going.
Yeah, sounds good.
Is it working now? No.
Let's shut off the iPad.
Okay.
Now we'll check it.
Well, I am here
Okay.
to talk to people though.
Yes, do you guys have any questions right now? Everyone, yeah, so many fans. Everyone's like, I love your work, I love your work.
No.
No?
Everyone's so cute.
Everyone's so fascinated watching you guys.
But not as cute as Pascal's painting.
I know, it's really nice.
Look how cute. Look at this beautiful composition you're already doing.
Well, composition stuff, I'm pretty good at that, actually.
Yeah.
Just because I have to rely on
Okay, Karla. Maybe in the meantime.
I can't rely on just like the
Yeah,
painting
for
like
sure.
you do.
You can plug that one in.
Oh, that's interesting. I can't do that, and I don't necessarily do it, but I admire so much people like you specifically.
Nah.
I remember seeing a painting of you. This like girl I was just telling you about before, like the girl like sitting down like this. And it's one of, I don't know if it's the most famous one, but like each time I see it, I'm like, my gosh, how do you do that?
You guys are so nice. Spending, to say, like forever days slaving away. Come out of my cave looking like Golem.
You got to spend your life somehow, right? So might as well do something you like.
What you enjoy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably should try different brushes after this.
It's okay, I can
I
just
like the
do this one.
trees.
Yeah.
Thank you. I like approaching something, but never really drawing it.
Yeah, it's like abstract in a way.
It's everything I do is abstract, or at least I want it to be abstract, because I feel like if I draw it too much, and I'll get caught up in like how bad it looks. By this I mean like if I draw a hand, for instance, I'm trying to get it as far away as possible from like what a real hand looks, because if I get close and not close enough, it looks worse than if I'm far away from it. So all my characters, everything I do, I try to keep it as simple as possible because of that.
Yeah, and then you totally get the idea really easily.
Correct.
As you see it so fast, you totally know what's going on when you approach it like that. Yeah.
It's so cool. I love it that I just hear you go.
Yeah. So my wife loves that. She's like, it's like ASMR for her. I remember like a while ago, like I was doing this, and she's like, "Oh, there you go, you're doing your Bob Ross again." And I was like, what? Bob Ross?
so
Like,
good.
who's Bob Ross? And she's like, "You don't know Bob Ross?" And I was like, "Oh," I was like, "I grew up in France. I didn't know Bob Ross." So she's like, "You gotta watch Bob Ross." So I did, and I started watching it, and I fell in love with it. I was like, "Oh my god, it's so cool."
Oh yeah, he's an icon.
He's an icon, yeah, for sure.
So is that in one of your groups?
Yeah, the reason I did a group is how did I get out of the group? Okay, so it's because if I duplicate the layer group and I merge this, I'm sure there's a different way of doing this. Then I'm gonna duplicate it again.
So then you have one copy of it that's just like a flat layer.
If I do this and then I do like, for instance, up, you'll see.
God, I love this brush. It's so nice. Sorry, I'm over here playing with brushes. I'm like, wee.
Oh, are you doing?
Well, if I do this.
Oh, cool.
And then I go to
Oh,
multiply.
did they lock it?
Oh, I see.
Wait, how did you do that?
Aha!
Show us your tricks.
I just did. It's on camera. Gosh.
No,
Okay, let's walk through that
And then
again.
I go back and I can erase to actually have some light, which is clear. I can't draw, but like
make all of your really cool light.
not all the time. But I was trying to figure out how to use this. I'm like, oh, and then after that, you can go in and start because you don't have all the same thing as other softwares, but you have a lot of really cool stuff. It's just a matter like everything. It's like a puzzle. You have to like figure out, oh, how can I do this? I'll put this like this, and I can start like having some some light.
So did you lock the transparency of that layer that you duplicated?
Yeah, I did that.
Okay, I
Lock
see.
transparency.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
And then start.
So if you go in the ... under the trash can. I know. So that's how you can do all the really cool.
There's a lot of cool stuff, but it's like
Oh yeah.
it's like a puzzle. It's like a gift. You have
Yes.
to like play around with
You have
it,
to find out how
things
you-
do happen here and there.
Yeah, how you interact with it in a different way.
I'm so happy that that was implemented.
Yes.
The whole time, like, can we not transfer?
I know. I think it was a little while ago where Karla's like, I really need this. I really need this. We're like, okay, we got to put this in. So then we got that in, and you haven't played with it yet, so I'm excited to see what you think.
I'm just so happy.
Yes.
Oh, man, it's on. Oh.
So can we look at Karla's screen? Is that?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, now that we look, okay, hold on.
So
this is going to be wild. Hold on.
Just to recap what Pascal did is he had a group of all of these layers. He duplicated that group, then merged it, so he created a flat layer, and then locked the transparency on that one, and then painted over it with a wash of color.
Correct.
And then did a blend mode, right?
Yep.
And then started going into that top layer and adjusting the colors so you can see all the depth that he created with that, and the light, and all the cool things that happened.
Okay, wait, we locked the transparency. I'm so excited. Hold on. Yes! Oh my goodness, that feels
And
so
something
good.
that you can also do is mask, but I don't know if you've played with that
I don't know
yet.
how to use mask. I actually don't use it in any other software, so
I did.
everything I do is
So-
like because I just played around with the software and figure it out.
Yeah. The way that masking works in Gemini is it's not a clipping mask yet, but we have a mask where you can use a selection and you can mask that shape and paint inside that shape. You can mask with different types of brushes to create like outlines of shapes as well. Karla, did you play with the lock transparency yet?
Oh, I am playing with it right now, and I am like the happiest human. I'm just like, yes, give me that lock transparency. Because I that's something that I use in my work, in my professional work all the time.
Lock transparency?
Oh yeah, I like transparencies
What do you
and
do with
clipping
that?
masks and stuff like that. Well, I mean, it's just kind of like what I'm working on right now. Like, I just do like a simple black outline type of situation, and then I'm able to just go on ahead and like add like
Fill
the light
in.
onto it, and it's just super fun and makes it really quick. And like, you can just do so much from just like a simple silhouette. And I'm just so happy. I'm over the moon right now. I'm gonna do a space dude. Let's see if I got
So
time.
Pascal, I saw that you went in and adjusted the brush settings, right?
Yeah, just going like this, and like you have like all your scattering stuff, and I'm just playing around with it right now, trying to like figure out
Just to create some different effects.
what I can do with it.
Yeah.
Let's
I don't really know where I'm going with stuff anyhow.
let's do it. Let's do a
I'm not sure if I
man.
can do this, but I wonder if like if I do.
What are you trying to do?
I don't know. I'm gonna see if.
Ooh, cool.
So I guess if I
Different
just
blend modes.
there, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
It kind of changed the tone of the,
Yeah.
the painting.
Pascal, that's
in a
so
really nice
cute.
way. I know, it's so lovely.
I'm gonna make an old or a grizzled pilot type dude.
If you guys
a
want to
pilot.
know how, if you want me to redo it, I can do it again because it's probably the only trick I know. So it's just like milk it for the next couple of days.
Do it.
Yeah, if you guys want to see that again, that was a really cool
Do
way
it.
to get some different tones in your drawing.
Do it. Do it.
Oh well.
And in 35 minutes, we're going to look at the submissions for.
Wait, is it the end already?
Nope,
Oh,
not
okay.
the end. I think we have another hour, but we'll look closer to the end at what everyone submitted as they're drawing with us, because I know a lot of people are drawing with us at the same time.
That's cool.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
You know,
actually.
I don't want to do a dude right now. I'm gonna turn this into a lady.
How do you turn it into a lady? At what point? You can keep going back and then like maybe it's just the jaw, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna adjust shapes
Yeah.
little by little. And like, honestly, I just got really excited about the
lock transparency. You're like, I'm just gonna
I was
go
just
in
like, wee,
and
just gonna
play.
do the thing real quick.
Yes.
But I think I kind of want to play around and maybe do something a little bit more sketchy or something like that. I could do something else that I had in mind, but
Alberto's saying Pascal uses a digital pointillism technique. Kind of, right?
Yeah, people always
it's
tell me that. And it's like,
wild.
Yeah.
Again, it's because I can't draw correctly. Not,
No.
Okay, let me rephrase that. No, stop. It's not because I can't draw. It's because, as I was trying to explain, it's, I really look at stuff and try to see how I see it. Like, for instance, I'm looking in the corner of the room, and what I'm seeing is really like just the shadows and the colors. And I try to tell myself, oh, I'm seeing this like darker version of a bluish. There's a little bit of green typed into it, and the next, and right next to it, there's like a very diffuse shadow of something. So I try to use words as opposed to like space and measurements. And when I do stuff, everything is approximative, because I do like seeing blurred images. Like I do like, you know, being in the freeway and seeing the cars go by and the lights are being blurred. So that's what I try to like reproduce here. When I get too exact, I feel like it doesn't leave enough room for the audience's imagination.
Yeah.
And it becomes a little less powerful, or there's a little less rich than what you can. That's the reason I do this.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And also because I can draw really well. But that's that. And one of my favorite artists is Monet, so you know.
Oh, yes.
We were
That
just
makes
visiting
sense.
his house last summer
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Where was his house?
in Giverny, in the right outside Paris.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, that was really amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, someone was like, your work is so wholesome and nice. When you look at it, you get this warm feeling in your heart, right?
Oh, thank you so much.
That's so cute. It is. It's very, like, just lovely.
All right, I guess I can go on for this one.
Love this brush.
Yeah,
Just
Karla.
What brush is that?
Great brush. I don't know what brush
Which,
this
is that one of your brushes that you're using?
No, because I'm using her iPad.
Oh,
This is the dry media.
brush.
That's the one I used.
Graphite.
Yeah,
Oh,
wait,
yeah,
no,
that one's
that's-
really nice.
Beautiful.
It has so much texture.
I love that. That's just fantastic.
Okay, well, we just want to do this.
I don't know if I'm digging this. So let's lock transparency.
So you're going to play with the lock transparency now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys having fun, by the way? You
Yeah.
should read the questions too. You have your chance, no problem.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, we're here.
Yes.
Very cool.
Process, anything.
Wow, so many questions.
Karla, I like how, like, I was just watching you right now. When you just have one stroke of, like, a thicker brush stroke, it creates so much, like, so many edges and depth and texture in that.
It's super fun. Thank you.
Dry media.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with this one.
Ooh, scratchy pencil. What one was that one?
Pencil.
I wish I had the other painting. I was having a lot of fun with that one too. It's okay.
Lettering. I like fixed wire.
I like that
Ooh,
pop
that's
of
nice.
green.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, thank you. That's me.
Yeah, we have all types of different brushes, I feel like, for any type of work that you want to do.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back in it in this phase. Yeah, this graphite brush is really great. Actually, it creates some wonderful
Edges, I feel like.
edges. Yeah. I don't want to give her that hair.
Cool.
So Gemini does have layer blend modes for Blanca that's asking.
Yes, look, they're all right here. You have
And
like,
Pascal was playing with those earlier.
I don't know if you can see them here.
You can use that to change the tone or like how the different layers are interacting with each other as well. And yeah, we have our default brushes here in Gemini. As you can see, there's a ton of different types of brushes that you can play with and have a lot of fun with. There's brushes for comics, for effects, for watercolor painting. I feel like there's all different types of brushes that you can play with. And we have our vector brushes as well that creates our sharp, smooth, clean edges and lines.
There.
A lot of people are enjoying your singing and humming, Karla.
Thanks,
Very
guys.
beautiful.
It's funny because I'm working on a stream as well for like painting. One of the things I'm really worried about is that I dance and sing a lot while I paint.
Oh, I don't think you have to worry about that. I feel like
That's kind of cute, actually.
It's
fun and entertaining for people, right?
No, because it's
Who likes Karla singing?
I
Everyone.
do.
Yes, we all
No,
enjoy
you
it.
guys. It's just one of those things where I'm just like, oh boy, is this sad, or do I really want to share that with people?
No, yes, you do. We love it. Pascal, your colors are amazing. Any advice on selecting colors?
You know, that's the funny thing is I'm really bad at color.
What? No.
Let me explain.
Okay.
The school I went to an art school, but our art school didn't have any drawing classes or color classes or composition, anatomy, none of that.
What did you learn in your art school?
All we did was storytelling.
Oh.
And they were focused entirely on storytelling. And by that I mean like they would give us exercises and just have us go home and figure it out. We didn't even have to stay in class. They were trying to like get us used to being freelancers, because in France at the time, like the main industry, there was no animation, and I was never thinking about doing animation. They were thinking we were going to be like illustrators for like Jones Book, the press, magazines. So we had to like learn how to like discipline ourselves on our own.
Yeah, that's good.
And what they would do is like they would help us figure out how to tell a story and make sure that what we put in the image is what we wanted the audience to understand and nothing else.
I think that really comes through in your work so easily and naturally as well, which makes sense because you have so much practice doing that and thinking of like, what is the thing that I want to convey to the audience, right? And just thinking of how you structure your piece to do that really comes through.
So coming back to the question of the color. So for color, we didn't have any of that, and I was actually terrified of color all the way until I came out of college. But what I was really good at, or what I really appreciated, was lighting. The city I went to school with was called Strasbourg. Still is called Strasbourg, by the way. And it's it looks a lot like the. Have you guys seen the movie The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Disney movie? So it looks a lot like that. There's cobble streets everywhere. The walls of the city, the streets are not necessarily straight in some areas. It's all those like German like looking type of houses. And so because of those, like some of the streets are very narrow. There's a river that goes through it. So at night you have really dark darks and really beautiful like lighting happening. And I remember being extremely marked by that. And that's where my lighting comes from, like from trying to like
you're using the selection and transform now. Yeah, we have a pretty cool lasso tool.
Yeah, actually the lasso tool is really nice.
So we've combined the freehand lasso tool and the polygonal lasso tool together, so you can actually lift up while you're making a selection, and you can tap down, and then it'll have your sharp corners, but you can also go in and do like really nice detailed curved lines as well. So question for Karla from Howard. You've worked on some pretty notable projects, but is there a dream project that you'd like to be a part of?
Oh, shit. Sorry. I don't know.
No, it's fine, I think.
This is your chance. They're all listening.
Oh, man. Honestly, I'd love to work with something with Guillermo del Toro. I think I really appreciate his... just the work that he does in his aesthetic and his storytelling, I really love it. So I'd really love to just work with him on something, especially if it's something kind of like Victorian era inspired, because I'm obsessed with the aesthetics of that time.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. But outside from that, honestly, like I'm very happy kind of doing where I'm doing, where I'm just like painting, working on really fun projects with people, but also like doing my own thing. Because I think more so than working on a really cool project, I just want to do more oil paintings, because they're just so fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great question. So I think just Guillermo del Toro would probably be it.
That's really cool. What kind of exercises can people do for storytelling, would you guys say?
There are tons of them. I think the one I give the most out to like people who are really interested in that is like take a day out of your life, like from the moment you get up to the moment you go to bed, pick like 6 to 7 moments of that day and try to draw them and tell that particular story, meaning like when you get up, really draw yourself getting out of bed and what is the emotion you're trying to feel. Each image, you want to make them as clear as possible so that people that look at the image within half a second understand exactly what's going on and what is the emotion you want to give. If you're like happy, if you're sad. It's really cool if you have like, if you live with somebody else or if in your images you have interaction with their characters, because that's going to help you play on relationship and like what you're trying to transmit in terms of like body language. If people are hugging, it's going to force to play on like body dynamics, things like that. So, take a, day out of your life and try to do that, or take an emotion that really, really marked you, like, you know, your first kiss, the first dog you had, the first time you went to like Tibet or whatever you did, you know, whatever, and draw that as well.
Yeah, and I feel like when it's familiar like that, you get so much emotion coming out of it.
Because it's yours.
Not just
it's
that,
yours,
but it's exactly, but it's one of those things where it's like, it becomes more tangible and more authentic because you know the subject, you know, you know, deeply, and that happens to us like whenever we're working on the project. Like you always, actors have to find a little bit of themselves in whatever role they play. So in order to connect with that,
I see.
and
that makes
in
sense.
some ways you kind of do the same, but in a visual realm. Yeah, it gets really fun. For me personally, what helped me a lot was doing film studies.
What is this film study exactly?
Film study, so like you pick certain films that you think, you know, oh, this is like a really cool, you know, film that you love, and you look at the cinematography that they do, and you look at like how actors express emotion, how the directors compose the scenes, what kind of lighting is used to push a certain mood or a certain kind of story. And that, personally, for me, that's one of the things that helped me the most improve in my, you know, visual storytelling. It was just like looking at how people did it, you know, in these incredible movies. And then just do quick little 15-minute studies of that. That's been very helpful to me. All right, I got bored with this, so I'm gonna do something else. Yeah. I'm gonna do something else now. Whee!
Yay! Yeah, you guys are quick.
I miss my other painting. That's okay.
Which one, the man?
Yeah, I was starting to get into rendering. But that's okay. Gives me an opportunity to try. Ooh, this is a great brush too.
Try a different brush.
Yeah, get to try out all the.
There are pending brushes too, right?
Which ones?
Painting, yeah. I haven't tried those.
We have
Canvas detail. That was cool.
painting ones.
Where did it go? Canvas detail. Let's see.
Those ones are nice because there's so much texture, I feel like, that you can play with, and the canvas that. Karla, you're using the graphite one?
I'm really enjoying the graphite. It's so fun.
That one's a really good one.
Yeah. It's like super, I'm really enjoying it.
So yes, we have about 20 minutes before we review the challenge, the submissions that you guys have. And we'll look at these today and tomorrow, and then we'll announce the winner on Thursday. So draw with us, guys, and let us know what you're doing, and we'd love to see what you're working on. It's so cool seeing you guys work side by side.
Oh, it's so fun. I look up and Pascal has finished a painting.
I try not to look up because I don't want to get like thrown off by yours.
No, don't worry about it.
I do.
Silly. We just having fun.
A fun story, Nora just asked why its name is Gemini. So that's our project name. It'll be announced later this year, a different name, but the reason we chose Gemini is because we have our Adobe Sketch app and Adobe Draw app on the iPad. And the Sketch app is pixel-based and the Draw app is vector-based. So bringing those two together in our one app is like the two faces of Gemini, you know, like the astrology.
What?
Yeah, Gemini sign.
You guys are so fancy.
So it was a good name for us. I think it's really fun.
Yeah, it's a great name.
It's a cool name. It's easy to remember too.
Yeah, it kind of stands out, I think. It's kind of weird. You're like, why is it called Gemini? But it's mysterious in a way.
Okay, yeah, I'm really enjoying the graphite one.
I'll try next.
It's so nice.
Wait, we actually have 2 more days of this, right?
Yes, we do.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll be...
Just come on the next day. I'll be warmed up by then, I think.
Yeah, we'll be here tomorrow and Thursday at the same time, drawing in Gemini. Ask us any questions.
Ask me any. Yeah, I may.
Well, I see Karla's using the touch shortcut a lot. So if you see that little circle on the screen, that's our shortcut tool. So if you're on the pixel brush, you can tap down on that and it actually turns into an eraser version of the brush that you're using. Yep, that one. So maybe you can demo that really quickly, Karla.
Yeah, it's fantastic because like it will erase it with the same brush.
Oh yeah.
And it's a really quick way to create, to shape, you know, to kind of create some nice shapes, or to just kind of chisel down the painting.
So it looks like you've done that on purpose. I think.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a huge,
Huge mistake.
round, hard-edged eraser. It's a nice. It blends in nicely with what you already have.
Yeah, no, I really like it. And then, like, for example, right here, like, first I'm going to merge these two layers together. Like, I can just kind of go ahead and again, just expand or chisel or do things like that with whatever brush I need. So you can create some really nice edges. It's quite nice. I like it.
Yeah. So for those of you who just joined, we're looking at Project Gemini, which is a drawing and painting app on the iPad coming out this year. And right now we're on iPads, and that's what we're using. Karla's using the newest one. Pascal's using the iPad from last year.
Last year, I guess, yeah.
And they're both using the 12.9. Oh, actually, Karla's using the 9.7 one.
It's tiny.
Yeah.
It's okay. I don't mind tiny.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is a little sneak peek of Gemini for you guys before we release.
When did you say it was going to be released?
This year.
This year.
Wait for it.
Yes. Soon.
Soon.
Karla, what are you drawing now?
I'm drawing a lady.
Ooh.
Or, I mean, this is an arm. I'm drawing a lady, and I look up and I'm just like, it's just shapes.
Soon to be.
Soon to be. I'll make something. Yeah. I came prepared with a couple of ideas or things that I thought would be fun to do or paint. And I'm having definitely some fun. Yes.
So Gemini right now is coming out on the iPad Pro, but later will come to other platforms as well. But this first release is just for the iPad Pro. Yep.
What other platforms are you guys on?
Windows, Android, but that's not yet coming.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Another nice scene.
What?
Is that your son?
Yes,
daughter?
one of them. Sorry guys, I'm only going to be drawing what I know, so.
No, I think it's
fine.
really awesome.
Right here, there we go.
There we go with that touch shortcut.
I know, I just can't, I just love it.
I know, it's handy. And
it's super handy.
later we'll have that.
The one about like erasing things?
Yeah.
It's actually, now that I'm like starting to play with it around. It's
especially if you play with like lock transparencies or lock layers, like that's a super quick way to kind of go ahead and work on the silhouette so that it's just where you want it.
You put a lot of thought into your art. It's really cool.
A lot of what?
Thought. And like I never think about like, I always hear like, about tangents and silhouettes and stuff like this, and like in the end product I do try to like keep that in mind, but it's definitely not something that's like driving my art at all.
I mean,
It's
not something you think about.
No, there's a lot of stuff like I'm realizing I don't think about. A lot of stuff.
It's okay. You don't need to. It comes from your heart. No, it does, and it's beautiful. Look at that.
Everyone has their own process and way of thinking.
Are you going to do your doggo too? Yes,
Oh,
you
yeah,
are.
the dog.
Yeah. We were just talking about our dog earlier. This is
What
Charlie.
type of, oh yeah, it's a
little
Shih Tzu.
Tzu.
Charlie. Oh, cute.
I probably add like the two other kids in there because I feel bad like when I draw
one and then the others are like,
they're watching. They're just like,
they're like, who's that? Why didn't you draw me? It's like, oh.
Yes, 15 minutes until we review your design challenge entries, guys.
Do it.
Wait, there's also a vector thing on this. I forgot.
Yeah, so.
I'll try it like right after this.
Okay. So we have our vector
actually, before using Photoshop, because I use Photoshop a lot right now, like I was only in Flash.
Oh wow, really?
And it was all vector. It took me me like about 3 years to get used to Photoshop because I couldn't understand the difference.
Well, now you'll be able to use the vectors really easily if you have experience doing that, or if you work doing vectors a lot.
That's great, dude. I never understood vector.
Well, when I got into computers, I did. You know, my brother built me a computer when I first moved to the U.S. and I had Flash on it, so that's all I had. So I didn't really have that much of a choice. If I wanted to draw, I had to use that, and I was like, oh, this is actually really cool.
See.
So actually, these are the vector ones, right?
So that one is the vector brush.
I keep like sticking on my toe, I think. Sorry.
And if you start using the vector brush and drawing, it'll create a new layer for you that's a vector layer.
Oh, it does?
Yep.
And this one actually should fill in. Yeah, that's
and
cool.
you can fill in really easily with the vector shapes. So that'll speed up your work for sure.
Yeah, but it has to be like closed.
Oh yeah, yep. It has to be closed shape.
I'm gonna change it up.
And it'll fill in nice and easy for you.
Where's my sweet, sweet? Yeah. Is that my sweet, sweet? Yes, there it is. Sorry. Oh, no wonder the flow was low. Okay, there we go. No,
yeah.
That's not it.
Kathleen's saying vectors scared her a lot in the beginning when she first started working. How did you transition into pixel brushes, Pascal?
My computer died.
My
computer died.
Forced to.
And when I bought a new computer, the version of Flash that I had was from 2002, and it just didn't work on a new machine, so I was forced to move to something else.
And how was that transition for you?
That's hard.
Yeah.
It was really, really hard. If you look at all the images that I did around like 2015, 16, they're all super, super dark because I just didn't know how to use Photoshop at all, so it was just making everything dark to masks. Mask the errors I was making. But then eventually it got better, and now I'm like, oh, now I'm like, now it's okay. But I'm a slow learner. When I learn something, I learn it well, but it takes me a while to get to it. So what's the FX stuff?
Oh yeah, the effects brushes. Those are fun.
Yeah, too big though. Unless I lock that.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, I wish I had a dog. Your dog's so cute. Or does anyone else have a dog in the chat? Oh, Blanca's asking if you guys use reference pics. Karla.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a big fan of painting from life. And if I had the opportunity, that's all I would do. But it's really expensive and not very.
Oh, because you have to pay for the models.
Yeah, you have to pay for models. You have to, and for like working in films and stuff like that, it's just not. It doesn't make sense. But I always like to inspire. I like to call it inspiration and information when using references. You know, you don't really ever want to follow something exactly as is because the camera does a lot of things. Like, it just it like
from an
distorts.
Image?
Yeah, from an image, from both like a.
Or from real life as well.
Excuse me?
Like comparing working from a reference image versus working from a real life model.
Yeah. What's the difference, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're working from a real life model, one, you realize how your eyes actually work. You're able to detail, how edges really are, like simple things like, for example, in your area where you're looking directly at, everything will be a little bit sharper versus your peripherals, everything will be a little bit blurrier. You'll learn little things like, for example, how close together the values usually are, and it's just like little things like that you start to kind of really know as you paint from life. And it's one of those things where I absolutely love doing. And I think like there's a lot of, I don't know why, there's a lot of folks that, feel like like I think like there's a lot of beauty in, you know, doing things from memory, and like there's a lot of freedom in there. But I think also like using reference is totally fine, and people shouldn't be scared of using it. Like I always tell people, some of the greats in history have used reference, like Alfonso Mucha. All he used was references.
Yeah, and working off that.
There was a really wonderful Anders Zorn exhibit that happened out here a while ago. And one of the things that I really love seeing was just like his incredible references that he, like once he had access to a camera, he was just like using them left and right. And it's just really, really, really fun. But like, or also, for example, Norman Rockwell and all these amazing illustrators. So it's not something to be afraid of. It's just something to use as information. What you edit and what you change, and you know how you stray from the reference, like that's what becomes really interesting, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I use references, and I always urge my students, like especially if they want to like do realistic works, like or things that are based like more rendered or more traditional, to just use it. It's fine.
Just go with it and learn from it.
Or even just as a learning tool too. Although for learning, I just always recommend, hey man, just go outside and paint. Paint. You know, Pascal was mentioning earlier, where it's just like, yeah, like he was inspired by the light that grew, around the place that you grew up with, and that comes from observation. And that's the big one too, really, is just observation. Even if you're painting things that are stylized or real or whatever it is that you want, as long as like you're doing it from a place where you observe and you know why things are doing the things they're doing.
Yeah, I agree. I think
that's so important.
Knowing why you're doing what you're doing is probably the most important thing. It's too easy to like see somebody else do something and just copy it because it looks cool, and then you like, that's actually how you lose your style, I think. It's like when you see other people and try to do like them, you're not developing a style, you're losing your style, because you already have your style. Your style, in my opinion, is pretty much how you see the world and how you retranscribe it.
I agree.
So when you take someone else's like shortcuts to do that, you're not showing your version of the world, you're showing like a false image, or like a mixed image between you and someone else, and yours is going to be so much stronger almost every single time.
And that's I love that too, because like that's the thing that I find most interesting about illustration or paintings in general, is that you get to see a snapshot of how that person sees the world.
Yeah, that's,
and you don't get that anywhere else. So whenever someone just like overtly, copies something just because it's cool and doesn't give themselves the opportunity to explore, how they see the world.
Right?
Because like we'll all, I mean, in some ways we're all going to be painting from, similar human experiences, similar, light scenarios and things like that. But it's really what you observe and what's meaningful to you that will make that really work.
Karla, can you talk more about using edges to guide the views of focus? You mentioned that when you were talking about looking and observing and drawing from real life.
Edges to guide the viewer, pretty much.
Yeah.
So edges, it's like one of those like funny things where it's just like, edges is really all like, edges will describe a texture, if something is soft versus something is hard. Edges will also help you like kind of work on the focal point. Usually the focal point is the area where you want like the tightest edges, or not. When I mean tightest edges, they can still be loose, but where things can be a little bit more rendered and things can be work a little bit stronger. As you get to the peripherals, or pretty much anything that's not your focal point, you can start to lose that that accuracy or that extremely rendered, because that mimics how our eyes see. Our eyes, our peripherals, pretty much the corners of our eyes, like you can't tell, our eyes aren't HD, you can't tell exquisite detail everywhere.
Yeah.
And I see when a lot of people try to go for a more rendered kind of look, or something that's a little bit more on that aspect, it just loses it a lot. Just because it's like our eyes just don't work that way. There's low battery in this one.
Oh. Let's see if we can.
But yeah, our eyes just don't work that way, and a lot of people forget that. It's kind of like, for example, why a lot of movie directors are really mad at like when the settings of the of like TVs are like super HD.
Yeah,
because it's just too
Yeah.
much going on for you.
Yeah,
to
no,
focus on,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Only a camera sees that way. No one has that. So like, whenever you're painting on something and you just over render things everywhere, it just doesn't make it will never feel realistic or tangible. It'll almost sometimes actually feel kind of stiff if everything has the same level of finish.
Oh, I see. So you really focus in on one part of it where you want the viewer's eyes to be, and then the other edges, right, aren't as polished, maybe.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess edges is also like an interesting thing, because really edges is just like how a brush finishes, if it's soft or hard. That's it. Like, I'm sure that there's more to it, but like, but simplistically, like that's about it. And there'll be some things that will just naturally be softer. Like, for example, whenever you render hair, when you paint the side of the hair, you can always add a little bit of softness to it, because that's just the texture of hair.
Yeah.
Or if you're painting rocks, you can go ahead and make them a little bit harder. Because that's what the texture is. But yeah. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes
sense.
sense.
That's just really cool.
We're just taking all these new learnings in.
I'm trying to find. Ooh, what's a rake?
Rake brush, those are fun.
What? Ooh, that's fun.
Those are pretty textured.
What?
Cool.
That's texture town. I want something soft. There you go. That'll make it.
I like the detail that you're adding, Pascal, into the couch and the
And yeah, I'm just trying to play
pillows.
around with
It's
this.
so cute.
It's nice.
I want something else. I want
What type of brush are you looking for?
a round brush. I want like a simple round brush. I want that'll work.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's exactly it. There's so many brushes in this
So
thing.
1 more minute to submit your work, everyone.
Do it.
And we can take a look and see, and then on Thursday we'll announce the winner of the challenge.
Oh, not today.
Not today. We have the challenge today and tomorrow, and then Thursday we'll announce the winner.
Oh, here's a hard round. Nice.
Yes, so Franklin, there will be adjustment layers. There are adjustment layers in Gemini already.
I'll probably use them later. There you go.
What's an adjustment layer again?
Oh, sorry. I think I meant there's blend modes, but there's not adjustment layers yet. Sorry, got those mixed up. Not yet.
But they will be, right?
Yep.
Okay. I am not digging the face. I'm going to go ahead and just push it back.
How are you pushing it back, Karla?
It's something that it's a practice that I do. For example, in oils, if you are painting something and it just sucks, or it's not coming out the way that you want it to, there's a lot of visual information that's happening already. And when you're trying to fix something and there's a lot of, you already have an eye or something like that, it's sometimes hard to kind of envision how to fix it. So that's when in painting in oils, you bring out the knife and just kind of scrape it off.
Oh, I see, okay.
But while scraping it, what it does is that it just kind of like blends all the shapes together. And for some reason, your brain is more open to something new because there's not something already established.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like when I'm having trouble with a face or there's something that I'm just not liking, I often just like, brush it off entirely, or
And then
like
just
dust it, or
go back.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm just like, I keep on making layers when really I just want to merge them down. And I know that they're here. Here it is.
Yes.
Oh,
there
no.
you go.
But that did the...
Howard says, Pascal mentioned a few times that he's not a great drawer. I disagree. Beautiful work so far.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes.
Hard agree.
So I think it's time to look at the challenges. Let's see. We have a few submissions. So we can go ahead and look at these.
These are it?
These are the challenges. So we had a color palette for you guys to use. This is really cool. I like all the faces.
That's awesome.
This one's really cute. I like this one looking up. That's funny.
Are they seeing that too?
Yes, everyone's looking.
Nice.
Yeah, this one's funny. I see all the little smiles on their faces.
That's adorable.
Do you guys have any feedback?
It's awesome.
It's
I love this.
cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to get in there and just like, you know.
Hug all of
Yeah,
them, or like
exactly.
play with them.
It's a good move, which is great.
There's
Like,
lots of movement
I just want
in
to crowd
there.
surf on top of all those. Just like jump in.
Yes.
It's
That one's
cute.
really cool. I like your choice of color too, and the shadows are really nice in here too as well.
Shapes are nice.
I can see all those shapes and edges.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the next one. Ooh, whoa! This is really cool
It's
as
like
well.
a Kira.
But just his
Lots
head.
of eyes
Wow.
and lots of thoughts. I think those are
Wait, what was
Speech
what
bubbles?
the theme? Just the colors?
create a character or a creature with this color palette. So these are really funky.
Oh wait, are these all like
creatures.
speech bubbles next to?
I think
this
so.
character?
It
Yeah.
looks like speech bubbles.
It's all like blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it's like
Someone's
lots
like
of eyes
a lot of
melting in conversation. Cool.
It's cool.
Yeah, these are funny characters and creatures. You guys did a really good job.
In terms of
Oh.
in terms of feedback, I would say is like
You refresh.
Yes, so I think we'll refresh.
yay.
There we go.
Yeah. In terms of feedback, I just think that like making all the speech bubbles are roundly around the same size. So because of that, it makes it lose kind of that excitement. And sometimes when you have like a lot of the same sizes in a painting, you start losing something that's called kind of the rhythm of a painting.
Interesting.
Or just even patterns. And a painting become exciting when you have similar shapes arranged in different and exciting ways. And a lot of that comes from like making something a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller. Or even sometimes layering them on top or pushing them back. I think this painting would be really cool if like you'd see some of the thought bubbles like on front of other thought bubbles, and you could create a little
Some
bit
depth.
layer.
Just like that last one as well with the shadows, like little things that you can do with that.
Yeah, the last one worked really well because it had such variety of sizes. They were all kind of similar, but you had a lot of variety to it, so it made it really exciting.
Yeah, that's great feedback.
Yeah.
And you can also resubmit your challenges as well, and we can take a look tomorrow and Thursday.
That's a cool
This is
creature.
beautiful, yeah.
I
Cool.
wonder what
Really
its name
cool
is.
creature.
Very graceful.
It's like a mix between a unicorn with these antlers as well, and then like a deer or
deer body.
Like a little,
Deer.
looks like a fox, deer.
Yeah.
Is that how
Beautiful.
the painting is? Can we zoom out of it? Or it's-
Yep, this is,
Oh,
there
there's
we
more,
go.
yeah.
There we go,
There's
yeah.
more.
Love those long legs.
Yes.
This
And
is
that
great,
tail
yeah.
is awesome.
This is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, this
Even
is
the
really
signature is like, boom.
Super nice.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
I'm always jealous of super nice things.
Yeah.
I
like just like,
Yeah.
super stamp and very beautiful.
Oh my
That's
gosh, I love those
gorgeous.
legs too.
yeah. This is great. Who's this?
That would make such a beautiful
Pokey.
animation.
Pokey. Good job.
Pokey, that was
I mean, they're all
you?
great. They're all really fun.
Wow,
Yeah.
They're
you
all
did.
awesome.
Awesome. Beautiful, beautiful.
And then we have this one, another creature character.
Oh,
Whoa!
oh no!
That is so cool. Looks like a bike with a unicorn head on it.
Oh, no.
And
It's like a YouTube like play
I know,
button.
yeah,
Yeah.
a play button that they're cycling on.
It's like My Little Pony Mad Max.
Oh my god, that's a great description.
One thing I would say about that though is like it's great. I do think that the head and the t-shirt blend in a little bit. It's like probably like composition wise, like move the head a little bit to the right or
Right
just
here.
in that area there. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Yeah. This is cool. I like the little knee pads as
Yeah.
well, and the design on the shirt. So awesome.
I can't get
the
over
purple hair.
I can't get over that sad
That's
unicorn
really
face.
cool, yeah.
I'm just like, damn.
Look at those eyes.
I know, that's
What
why
are
it's so
those?
sad. Those are ex-dead marks.
X
Oh, there
eyes.
they are?
They're dead marks, yeah. You know, like when someone is like, died and they got the X size.
It's interesting. There's 2 unicorns in there.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
Is it like unicorn?
Maybe
one?
these are like unicorn-like colors. I don't know. You guys did an awesome job with the
Yeah.
colors. It's so cool to see all of them together with this color palette. It looks great. And then another one from today. Ooh, this is a cool creature
Fancy
character
knights.
man.
Conquistador.
Yeah.
It works really well with the colors because
I
it's just like
know.
a fabulous night.
A pop with
Yeah.
this. This is my favorite
Fashion
part.
design.
Yeah.
Another like thing coming out of the
Bizarro.
head
I
too.
know. He comes into like the army. He's like, guys, hello. I'm very fabulous today.
Yes, he's like,
He, like-
look at my scarf
Yeah,
outfit
yeah.
area.
He laughs like, oh.
He's
really
like,
cool.
oh. This is really
Fashion night.
cool.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys.
So what do we have to do? We have
Thank
to
you.
choose a winner. Is that correct?
We'll choose. Oh, there's another one.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh my
That's
gosh, that is
cool.
cool. That face.
It's
with
a
the light.
golem. See,
Yes,
that's how
it
I
is
look
like
like
a
when I'm
golem.
done with a painting. I just come out, I'm like, that's me holding a light. Oh, goodness.
You're like, oh my goodness, outside.
What is he?
So
Is
cool.
she holding?
Looks like,
like
a
an
light
orb.
ball.
Oh, there I got it. No, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
great,
Very
great,
cool.
great.
yeah. Super cool.
Fun anatomy.
Wow.
I like the brush strokes too.
So
In the
these
background.
were all done within this past hour and a half.
so we
Very
were
cool.
drawing
Wow.
with them, and they have this.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive,
Color
guys.
palette.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
Good job,
amazing.
everyone.
Congrats.
Yes.
For this one, the only thing I would say is like, and it's not that big of a change, it's like, sometimes like you get a lot of information in a painting, and a good way to say, you know, to kind of see where your painting's actually going is you just kind of squint your eyes, and it takes away all the major, you know, like the details, and all you get is just the major information. And for this one, I'm really dying to see a little bit of light on the leg, and a little bit of light on the back leg, because right now it's just like so same value as as the background. And I think like you have such a wonderful dynamic pose that I just love to see a little bit of it. But wonderful work, especially for like an hour.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
you guys
reading all
look
the comments on the
awesome.
side. Everybody's
Yeah.
super excited about it too.
Everyone's
That's
like,
great.
wow,
You guys are so cool.
Insane, creepy, amazing. Creepy in a good way. I like that one. That's
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah, same.
Yeah, Pookie
Good
saying,
job.
that makes me feel accomplished that amazing artists want to make fan art of my art. Yes, of course. All of your stuff is awesome, guys. We love
Yeah,
seeing
yeah.
this.
Pokey, that was cool.
Yeah.
You guys are cool.
Ambient light too. Yeah, no, this is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta step up our game. Let's go.
But there's more.
Oh my gosh.
That's adorable.
That's
Yeah.
so cute.
I like the directness of it. It's just like those eyes, watery eyes.
Look at those watery eyes. That's awesome.
Gimme.
I wonder if you were inspired, Shreya, by
I need
Charlie, Pascal's
Oh.
dog.
Maybe, I
Since
don't
we were
know.
talking
that.
about
I need that doggo in my life. I need that little cutie.
Very cute.
I know, so cute. Well, tomorrow, we can do this again if you guys submit some more stuff as we draw tomorrow at 9:30, and then we'll pick a winner on Thursday. But we have some more time left, so let's go back into Gemini, and if you guys have any more questions,
That's
we'll be happy to answer
adorable.
those.
It's so cute.
Yes, this one's really
I'm
cute.
dying.
This
I
sounds
like the
great.
texture
Yeah.
as well.
I know.
There's
Here
more
and
though, right?
here. This one is our stopping
Oh, this
point
one,
for
okay.
today.
Sorry.
It's Adobe Live.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, so tomorrow.
Yeah, there'll
we'll
be more
back.
tomorrow, guys.
Tomorrow.
Wait, will they have the same? They'll have different prompt tomorrow, right?
No, it's going to be the same prompt, so we'll see more characters
Got
and
it.
creatures with these colors.
Ooh, have fun, guys.
It's like a uni puppy. Yeah, that's true.
I love that pupper. Ah, great work. Oh yeah, sure.
Go back to the iPad.
What is that thing? How are you two?
How are you?
I don't know
all?
the code in this one.
Oh,
Oh, the code. Turn it back on to like finish this.
3196.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
So back to the drawings.
Ignore it.
Oh, is that your daughter climbing up?
Jumping. She does gymnastics, so like when you ask her to do something, she's always like doing a, you know,
Does she
flip.
jump over the back of the couch a lot? Or
She
jump
jumps
on the
over
couch?
everything.
Yes.
She never ever stops. Even if we tell her not to do it, she'll still do it.
Adorable.
Yeah.
Except that like now that she's, you know, she's 10 and she's a good solid. I don't know how much she weighs, but she's solid. So when she lands on you, it
Not
you
Yeah,
feel it.
when she lands on you, like, oh,
You feel
okay. No more jumping.
Oops.
Are you going back into the face, Karla?
Yeah, I won't sleep good until I get
Until you
it.
fix it. Yeah, until you get it exactly how you want it.
Yeah, I spend so long on faces.
Really?
Oh yeah. A face can take me, a good face can take me anywhere. If I'm very, very good, a good rendered face will take me like 30 minutes to an hour.
Wow.
Versus like sometimes I'll spend like, you know, 2 to 3 hours or something on just a face. Because I love seeing that moment where it's just like, oh, this feels real.
Yeah, it's like that aha moment,
And
right?
yeah, and especially for like, you know, whenever you have a character, like it just people will always look at faces no matter what you try and do. You know, like it's just it's so human, and so to be able to capture that, that to me is one of my favorite things.
Have you always been attracted to the realism
Yeah.
stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love like beautiful stylized works. I love like a lot of the stuff that like Pixar does and like gosh, on Disney's I'm forgetting all the names of people, so this is embarrassing. But there's a lot of wonderful like stylization that occurs that I find so fascinating. But when it comes to what I like to paint, it's just I'm so forever enthralled with something that feels real and tangible. So yeah, maybe one day I'll have my period where I'm just like, no, I'm just
No more
not.
faces.
No
Yeah.
more. I'm gonna have like my blue stage or something like that, you know. Like, but for now, I love it. But one thing that I do love is like, especially finding an illusion where it's just like, it's just a couple brush marks, but it feels like a real face. It
Oh, I
feels
love that,
tangible.
yeah.
Cool,
That to
yeah.
me, like when I look at like Sargent's work or people like that, you know, where it's just like it just looks so effortless and just so beautiful and so powerful, and I always strive for that. So that's the thing I'm mostly obsessed with lately.
Yeah.
I don't. My patience for over rendering things is becoming lesser and lesser with the years.
Does it change like what you're obsessed with at a moment, like for your subject of painting? Does it change like often, or do you think it's stayed the same pretty much like your whole career in doing this?
For me, it changes all the time. Clearly, like I always come back to this because it's like my daily life. But the you know, if you look at what I was doing in the beginning, as well as like funny animals. Actually, at the very beginning, was a bunch of superheroes. Then the funny animals. Then the very lovey-dovey stuff. Then the family stuff. Then when I had the boys, it was like a lot of sports images all of a sudden. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's weird. And those football images.
It's
and
like with what's around you,
Yeah.
which changes a lot.
It's not like I'm consciously trying to, and now I'm doing like all those stories, those little comic strips, which I've always been interested in that. That's actually what I wanted to do when I was growing up, and then, you know, got into animation and kind of like did something else. But I wasn't doing them before, so which is like, it's interesting.
It just happened, yeah.
And I just let it, yeah.
How you added your other kids in there.
Yeah.
For me,
That was
it's
Max.
one of those things where it's like I feel like that's one of the things that I love about being a concept artist and working in like the industry. It's just that I'm constantly faced with new and exciting things to paint. Like one day I'll be painting mobsters in the 1920s, or sometimes I'll be painting fantasy or sci-fi or modern. And so being able to tackle all these things, it's really fun because you're working on so many different things. It's just it keeps it lively, it keeps it fresh. But for my own personal work, there's a certain aesthetic that I always kind of gravitate to. Oh no, not that. There's a certain gravitate that I kind of gravitate towards, and it's just one of those things where it slowly it changes a lot slower. I think like I'm more likely to paint similar things, but now more and more I'm more interested in telling other stories as time passes.
Yeah, I think it's really that. As you get older, you get more mature.
Yeah.
And you just like have different interests.
Yeah. And
it's good to listen to that too. You know, sometimes like I'll see like artists that do the same thing like 20 years later, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, like, there's definitely opportunities for like more storytelling with your experiences of life. So.
Interesting. Paul's asking about your experience with Wes Burt. Karla, is there any wisdom that you gained that you could pass on?
With what?
What do you mean experience? That's a weird way to ask. No. Wes Burt is an incredible concept artist, and just artist in general, and just like one of the best dudes around. Like that guy's just, that guy's the best. I love that guy. But in terms of experience, like I've worked with him in the past. We worked together at Marvel, actually, and that's super fun because you always learn a lot from the beautiful, glorious pieces that he paints. He taught us briefly back when I was a student at the Atelier, and he oversaw various projects that we were kind of like mock game projects that we used to do. And he just gave us some wonderful advice. A lot of the stuff that we've been talking about today, actually, about, you know, putting yourself in stories, putting yourself in the characters, because that's, again, how you get a lot of really wonderful, you get more tangible, more realistic imagery that way. Aside from that, like, I think, is that what you guys want? I don't know.
Yeah, I think talking about like the techniques earlier, and like how you observe and how you put yourself into it is such valuable advice.
I think a lot of us that are painting in a more realistic, brushy kind of way, we're all kind of influenced, by the same folks, or not by the same folk, but at least certain art movements. Like, I'm personally very influenced by like Alfonso Mucca, Sargent. I love anything from like the 1900s and like the golden age of illustrators. You have like Dean Cornwell, Mead Schaefer, and like Leyendecker, and just so many wonderful artists that just like really are inspiring. And I think all of us are kind of inspired by that and trying to bring that into the modern, world in our own way. And it's just fun.
Yeah. It's awesome to get your inspiration from all these different areas and see how other people work and what they do and how you can learn as well.
Yeah, but I hope that answered his question. I don't know if that's what they meant. Like.
So did you just do another wash of color over that, Pascal?
Me? Yeah, that's exactly what I did there. I'm just like sculpting the light into it.
Cool.
Pascal with the washes of color.
You just see a nice big sweep over everything, and then all of a sudden there's like all this light and depth.
Yeah, I work in very
everything.
fun ways.
No wonder he finishes so fast. Maybe that's what wasting all my time. I need it better. I want gouache. Ooh, what's all this? FX. Trying to make it basic.
Axel saying that technique of shadow, Pascal, I'll remember.
Please do, and just tell me like what you do with it. I do stuff like this all the time, where like I try something and try to like just, I have an idea in my mind of what I want to do, and I'll go about it like 50,000 different ways, and then somebody
cool.
comes and is like, oh, why don't you just do this? And there's a
Yeah.
button specifically for that. And like,
Work smarter, not harder.
I remember like it was a couple of years ago, it was with Warner Brothers. I was working on this thing and I was art directing. And my Photoshop thing would always get stuck in between two screens. And this girl comes in and is like, why don't you just press F? I'm like, what? And she pressed F and it just like makes everything full window. I'm like, oh my gosh. And she's like, you're my art director. How do you not know
all
that?"
of
Like,
these little shortcuts and things.
yeah.
Forever learning new Photoshop shortcuts.
Oh, I saw a
though.
question earlier about using like split screen view. So yes, you can use Gemini in split screen, and you can bring up reference images like in your camera roll photos app or
I
on
wanna learn
on
that.
Safari or whatever. So you can always have reference images, and you can also place your images on the canvas as well and have them like outside of where you're drawing to look if you want to have it in Gemini in full screen. But yeah, that made me think about, we also have like full screen in here where you can have like your layers showing, or you can just have some of your tools there, or you can kind of customize it. If you can see how Karla has her color panel out, so you can leave that on there while you're in full screen if you're constantly going back.
Oh, how do you do that?
What?
Oh
Color
yeah,
panel
so
thing.
if you tap on your color panel,
Oh yeah, the color
Pascal,
panel's
Is it
fantastic.
this?
Yep, and then you can just drag it out with the top.
That I
and
don't
then
see it. Learn things
if you
all the
go
time.
on full screen
so good.
here,
Oh, this is
full
there's
screen.
full screen mode
there's
too.
full screen, so you have more space while you're working.
That's funny.
That's great because like some of these iPads can get real, especially if you have the smaller ones, they can get like
Crammed, right?
Crammed.
So I'm learning this. I mean, while I've been playing with this, I'm not super curious about like exploring different like abilities of the software. I just try to do what I know how to do. So it takes me
Yeah.
a long time to learn stuff. So if I can do this, you guys can definitely do this.
It's really cool what you're doing right now. You're erasing away what you just brushed over, right?
Yeah, and
To
I'm just
bring
sculpting
in
the light
some-
and the shadows. So I'm trying to get the edges, and this brush is kind of cool.
This is
so
really cool how you do that.
and so I can do like many passes of that and get like a lot of like
Different variations, right?
different variation of color. Because if I do one with like a different, well, we'll try it and see if it works.
Yeah.
I just love the tappy though.
I know, I love that
No,
too.
no.
It's like ASMR for artists.
Yeah, I'm just like having a great time with the tappy. Tappy, 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 tappy.
Yeah, I feel like this one, there's so many dimensions as you add in this color, or take away the color and bring in the sculpt and the shadow and everything.
Probably not the best brush for it though, but yeah.
Oh,
I like playing with that new thing I just discovered that you guys just taught me about, like using the brush as the eraser.
Super
is
fun.
Oh, this is better. Yeah. there we
Yes, so Paul, we will be able to customize a smaller color palette so that you can either have your recent
this is
colors or some sliders or your color picker at the top. So you'll be able to customize it. We're still adding more features into this. So you'll be able to do that for sure if you feel that this is too big or taking up too much space in your window.
I love that. That's awesome. Bring it up. Yeah.
Whoa, that's cool,
Right.
Red. So Franklin, you're asking about how saving works in Gemini. So your files are automatically synced here to the cloud, and if you tap on the home button, that'll do a manual save for you. But yeah, the beauty of this is that your files will always be saved. Wow, the face is really coming out now as you're working on that, Karla. It's really
Thank
Oh my
you.
goodness, wow.
Thank you. I'm having a lot of fun.
So we have a few more minutes. Oh, 30 seconds left. So
Of what?
of this session.
No.
But we'll be back tomorrow.
I'm painting.
Now I have to
That's the
drag
thing
you
that's
guys
annoying.
away.
It's like
We'll
when you
be back
start, when you finally
tomorrow.
get into the groove, you're like, oh.
9:30 a.m. We'll see you guys here. Make sure to submit your challenges as well, and we'll take a look at those and pick a winner on Thursday. But thank you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Toodles.
Bye.
Peace
Toodles.
out.